not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that.
Okay, y'all, so I'm going to be starting out on freshly blown out hair so I can start to do my braid down. But before I do any of my braid down, I'm going to be sectioning my hair in the middle so I can do a middle part if I choose to do a middle part. And then I'm also going to be sectioning my hair on the sides because I want it to be a flip over that can also turn into a middle part. So you're gonna see me sectioning out that middle part, and then I'm gonna braid that down just to get it out of the way. And then after I do that, I'm gonna start braiding down the sides of my hair. So I'm braiding down the sides of my hair because, like I said, I want it to be a flip over. And I feel like in order for it to be a good flip over, I'm gonna have to have all that hair out. You don't have to leave out as much hair as I did, but since my hair texture kind of sort of matches the bundles, at least they're close enough, I decided to leave out a lot of hair because I knew that I could blend all that hair. If you don't have like the same texture as the curly bundles, you can use a curling wand and you can straighten your leave out, but I didn't really have to do that because it was a decent match. I didn't really have to do too much to it besides wet it and put some mousse on it. I also left the back out because I wanted to be able to put this into a ponytail. And the thing is, I ended up cutting the hair anyway, so I didn't put it in a ponytail. But if you're using longer hair, you'll be able to put that up in a ponytail if you leave the back out. So now you can see me doing my actual braid down. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, when it comes to curly hair and a quick weave, your braids do not have to be teeny tiny. As you can see, my braids are pretty big. I'm gonna join my braids together because I just hate having a whole bunch of long braids hanging down. I just kind of braid my first braid into the last braid, and then I continue around the whole head. And after I finish braiding all of my hair, typically what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and feed that last little braid tail in between each of my braids. So I'll kind of like stuff it under my last braid, if that makes sense. You guys can see it in the video. I'm not good at explaining the braiding part because I just be freestyling sometimes, but yeah, I'm just gonna tuck that under the braids that I already finished to get that out the way so I don't have to sew it down or crochet it in or any of that. So before I put my wig caps on, I'm gonna oil my scalp because if you know, you know, quick weaves will have your scalp itching bad. So I'm gonna be using the Mayo oil. I know a lot of people don't like the oil anymore. It still works for me, so I use it, you know, for a little braid down or if my scalp's feeling a little itchy, a little dry. You can use any oil you want to. It doesn't really matter. So here are the bundles that I'm using. I actually got these from Amazon and they were only 80 bucks, which, I mean, I didn't get a long length and I ended up cutting them anyway. But I think that was a really good deal for them to blend the way that they blended. I think that they were pretty decent bundles. Now, the ends were a little thin and scraggly, but I didn't care about that just because I cut it anyway. But you're going to see me putting glue on the tracks, adding the tracks to my head. I feel like that part is pretty easy, so I'm not going to spend too much time, like, you know, telling you guys how to glue your tracks onto your head. That's, you know, kind of obvious. But I wanted to make sure that I showed myself blowing out the hair because I had to wet my bundles because I had to dye them. So they were still wet when I was putting them on, y'all. I don't know why I did that. That was foolish. But if you have wet bundles and your glue isn't drying, you can just go ahead and put a blow dryer to it and that should help it dry. So once I got up to like the top part or the last few sections, I peeled my cap back a little bit because I didn't want to accidentally put it on my braids in the front or my leave out in the middle. So I just kind of peeled it back so I could see what was going on. And then I want to put the tracks really close to my what's that thing called? My scalp. So you see the line where I made the part at? I'm gonna put my tracks pretty close to that without actually putting it on that. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of a freaking scalp for a second. But yeah, I feel like it's easier if you pull the cap back so you can see what you're doing. You don't have to do that part, but I prefer to do that. And once I finish getting those tracks on and blow drying them down, I'm gonna take the blow dryer through my hair, all throughout my hair, just to make sure all the tracks are fully dry so I don't have any tracks slip in or anything like that. And once they're all dried, I'm going to start taking out the perimeter of my hair. And like I said, this hair blends with my natural hair a decent amount. My natural hair is a little bit thicker than this and not as silky, but once it's all together, it looks like it blends. So I just wet my hair. I put leave-in conditioner on it and I put mousse in it, and it blended pretty well. And I'm going through it with a detangler brush. Now, if you want to do the same style and your hair doesn't blend with whatever hair that you bought, you can straighten it and you can use a curling wand. You use a curling wand and blend it like that. That's typically what I would do, but I noticed that the hair that I had kind of already looked like my hair. It was just a little bit silkier than my natural hair. So I was like, I'm just gonna try it, just, with my natural hair without straightening it. And I think it turned out pretty cute. So this is me going through the hair and wetting it and adding that same leave-in conditioner, adding that same mousse, all that stuff, just to blend it all together. Now later I did have to go through and kind of like do individual pieces just to make sure I really defined my hair. And I also laid my edges down just so I can have a really uniform look. Did a little bit of scrunching, did a little bit of cutting, and I feel like once it dried, it turned out really pretty. Like, y'all, while I was wet, it didn't look that good while I was wet, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But once it dried, I feel like it turned out really, really pretty. I picked it out, I added some volume to it. As you can see, I used some volume hairspray. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it's giving like my real hair out the scalp. I kind of love it. I don't know, I might do this style more often, possibly with longer hair next time, just so I can have a different style. But I actually think it turned out really pretty. I love it. But you guys can let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you like it, if you love it, if you hate it, whatever.
Hey y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. If y'all enjoyed this video, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the post notification bell, do all that good stuff, and I will see y'all in the next one. If y'all have any recommendations or any questions, go ahead and leave that down below in the comments and I'll be sure to get to y'all. I appreciate you if you made it all the way to the end of the video, and if you made it to the end of the video, you might as well subscribe, so do that. All right y'all, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.